Okay. So you just fresh in class,
Yeah,
very new.
that's fascinating,
Okay.
even though it was the first day.
Now, you just took the cat out of the bag, saying you want to be a politician. You want to enter into politics. What is really driving that inspiration?
Um, I realized that our political space, we have a lot of, we don't have a lot of young people in the political space. We have limited females in parliament, and I think we need more young people. We need more females in our political space. People who have the country at heart, the mind to change things, that wants to see the betterment, especially for where we are right now. We have a lot of hitches when it comes to the young people, especially when it comes to education, our health sector, the educational environment for our youth is unwelcoming. You realize that most of the high schools are lack of libraries. Most of our students or most of our youth goes to school and they don't even have the means to get a book to read. So they grow up in that direction, which affects them. They feel that they went to school, they learned something, but they are not even able to sit to read a full book. Or even if you write something that is long, they will say, okay, I will read that later.
Okay.
It's because our educational environment is not welcoming at all. In that sense, we we are limited. Our young people are highly limited when it comes to education
Okay.
because if the facilities are put in place properly, they will have what it takes to equip them knowledge-wise. There will be things that they will adapt to. So at this stage, we are looking at the educational sector. We also look at our health environment. It's terrible. Most of our districts don't have a public health institution. Everybody has to run to GFK. Most of the time, GFK is out of beds. There is probably no medication. They have to give you your own prescription to probably go buy drugs and come back to the hospital.
Okay.
These are things that we are faced with within our day-to-day livelihood that needs to be changed. So we need people that will see the vision, that will see the needs to change a lot of things surrounding us.
So when you get to the parliament, are you telling us, or you get to the legislature, are you telling us that you do have the financial capabilities to ensure that those services, those facilities are secured, or how are you going to do your advocacy?
We won't say that we have the financial capacity or the financial ability to do these things because we are looking at working along with people. Definitely, that's what it's about. When you say leadership, it has to do with your human relations. It has to do with networking. It has to do with how you can build allyships and how you can be able to negotiate to get things done.
Okay.
So we are looking out being able to lobby at the parliament to get some of these things passed through because there should be some international or laws. There should be some platforms set at a standard for every government that when you come in, you are forced to work with it. You're not gonna say because okay, Madam Salif is no longer in power. She started this. We cannot end it. No, or His Excellency President Weah was the one that started this, so we cannot or we will not continue. When you come, once it's an international platform that is set, if it's passed, let's say for example, we have a law that we push at that time, and then for schools, like every year when schools are about to start, we make sure that the schools are painted properly. All the government schools are well painted. Make sure that teachers are well taken care of. There's a budget set for it, and as well as libraries, all these facilities that is needed, a cafeteria to make the learning environment more comfortable. So there's a budget for our copybooks to provide uniforms for
So
the
your
schools.
advocacy
Yes.
will be directed at that.
Yes, directly at the house.
Okay.
So it should be a bill that is passed not just to benefit just my district, but that's going to benefit the entire educational sector within our country. So that has to do with government schools because right now, if you realize that the private sector, most of the private sector, the fees are very high. Most of the common people cannot afford to send their kids to school. A parent making $100 or $150 or $200, our economic situation in the country currently. And some people making 300. You have, let's say, for example, worst case scenario, you have 4 kids. You have to send them to a school. Let's say the least tuition you can get right now with a little class school, like Catholic school, maybe around $700 per student. So if you have 4 person, you are talking about 1,000, 1,400, 1,000, $2,800 you have to pay for the full students.
Okay.
Okay, so in paying that, if you're gonna be saving your salary to do that, you're gonna save for the entire year. How do you even feed your family? How do you even if you save all through the entire year, if you're making 150, I don't think the money can even reach that amount. And then you have to feed them, you have to transport them to school, you have to get uniform. Apart from that, there are other household needs, taking care of the family. So people are stuck up. But if the government school is at a certain standard, people will not have to struggle that much because they will know that the same facility we have in the private schools, we are having it in the government schools.
Okay.
So why not? I can send my kids to government school and I know that they can get the education that they're going to get from a private school.
You seem to have a lot on your plate, talking about advocating for sound education, looking at the plight of our school going kids, the youth as well. That's a lot to have on your plate. How politically inclined are you? Have you worked? Have you served as a community chairperson before? Before heading for a whole parliament? How politically inclined are you?
I've heard that question a lot of times. So how politically inclined? I don't think it's about how long you've been in politics or whether you've been serving before. A lot of people came in and they made a difference. So we're just starting our journey
Okay.
into the political arena. I would say, and we are open-minded. We are a different kind of leader. We are looking at working with people. We listened, we work, we ask questions, and we want to make a difference. We have people that been into the political space that say they are politically inclined, they are overly inclined, over 40 years, 30 years with no difference. We don't want to be caught up in that. That's why we are coming not just from the political side, but we are also bringing what we have acquired from our corporate side to be able to blend to achieve things within our political or journey.
Do you understand the workings of the legislature?
Yes, definitely.
You share that with us.
Okay. When you talk about the representation, oversight, and making laws, good laws in the interest of your people. So these are things that we are open to. These are things that we're gonna push. These are things that we want to do. We want to have a proper representation for our people at the parliament. That's one. We want to be able to oversight when it comes to our advocates and when it comes to proposing laws that will benefit the young people, that will benefit our country in general and change the dynamics at a certain point. We also want to be able to oversight these laws to make sure that what we are advocating for is actually reaching the people.
We've heard that over and over again. People do promise that when I get to the legislature. In fact, we heard that someone did say that there will be the light. Unfortunately, we don't see the light. The light's still dimmed. So who will you be? You're going to be the second light at the legislature?
I won't take that. I won't take that point as. I won't say that we're gonna be the light, but I can say for a fact we're gonna work with our colleagues to make a huge difference. We're gonna make the change as a young leader, along with our people. We're gonna work together. We're not gonna come in to tell you that we are perfect. We're gonna shine overtly. We're gonna override others. No, because you cannot do it on your own. In everything that has to do with leadership, you have to be able to network. That's very important. You also have to be able to make your points for others to be able to understand your points or what you are pushing for.
Surely.
So you also have to be able to build allyships. So I'm not gonna say yes, I'm gonna go there, I'm the light, no, but definitely we're gonna push for the difference. Yes.
You're going to push for the difference.
Yes.
Now, how are you going to do it? A lot of lobbying, or how are you going to be so loud on the floor in the chambers? How are you
No,
gonna do it?
we're gonna lobby with our colleagues. We're going to place our ideas out there. We're going to make them understand. Like I said, we're going to be able to build relationships with people when we are at the parliament, because it's not something that you're going to be. We don't want to be like other lawmakers that you just go in every day, you make noise, you complain, there is no change, nobody takes you serious. No, that's not how to get it. Sometimes you might be saying the right thing and you feel that you are actually doing, but because your points are not getting in at the right way, you are not putting it in the right places, definitely you are not going to get the result that you think you need.
Now, I will be asking you as to what vehicle will be taking you to the legislature, because I know before you get there, either you are there on a party ticket, or either you are there on an independent, effort. But before we get to that question, you spoke about what is on your plate, when you get to the legislature, the issue of education, the younger people, you be looking at that. Let me ask you, what have you done? What's the track record? What's your contribution to the younger people, to the education sector? Because we don't want just a representative who will say, okay, let me get there first before I can do for my people. What have you done?
We have been advocating when it comes to education. We have had a couple of different case scenarios when it came to the WIAC results last year. We advocated when the students' WIAC fees were being wasn't being paid and the WIAC results were kept. So we placed out an advocate towards the government for them to do the payments so that students' WIAC results could be released. And luckily, the government listened. We also advocated on other international issues that has to do with corruption, violence.
How did you do the advocacy?
I use my platform.
You demonstrated or what?
No, I use my Facebook platform.
I thought you put a group together to stand somewhere and holding placards.
No. I use my platform. I have a huge platform on social media. If you find me on any social media platforms, it's Karishma, as Karishma.
Okay.
And Pelham, Pelham, and Raad, Raad. So I'm on all social media platforms, the same name. We advocated for that, and then we also advocated when we had the situation with the July 26th with the Student Vanguard Party, where they were protesters from the government side that counter them when they did the protest July 26th, and we requested for justice for the kids, and that those that are involved from the party angle should be held reliable and taken to the law. And those are things we push for. Recently, we are actually advocating that the Ministry of Education to revisit the private schools so that they could have a benchmark on tuition for all private schools, so that every private schools cannot just keep claiming carrying up the fees because some tuitions, because we have a lot of single parents in this country that can barely afford to pay the fees of the kids. We also have struggling parents. We have when we talk about class within our country, you can say that maybe 5% or 10% is the elites, and the rest of the people are common people that are actually struggling. So we want people to be able to afford. People should have access to education within the country, both in the private sector and the public sector.
Okay.
So in that direction, those are things that we advocate for. Our focus is education and self-empowerment.
Okay, so you've been involved with a huge advocacy. Now, how do you intend, Madam Raad, getting to the national legislature? What's the vehicle that's supposed to be taking you there?
An independent ticket.
Independent ticket?
Yes. I'm from
Why you chose to go independent?
I'm from
because what I know, you are part of the ruling coalition. What do you intend to go independent?
I'm a different kind of citizen. And
a different kind of citizen?
Yes, different. I have a mind of my own. I speak to national issues. when they are there are serious issues like currently we have a major issue with the RIA highway,
Okay.
the major road. I can say our it's almost similar like the port way. They say the gateway. I take this the airport way as our gateway as well, because this is where we have our people coming into the country and people leaving.
Okay.
So this side we shouldn't be having any issues. And currently the entire road has been fully uh, damaged, and it's more like a death trap for those that travel. I travel a lot as well, so I see that most of our people are at risk, including myself, because traveling out there at night, like one of our most frequent flights we use, Air Sky, leaves
The
early
road
in
is
the
under
morning.
construction. That's the reason why it's under construction.
Yeah, but normally what you do when you are doing construction work, you don't dismantle the road both ways.
Okay.
You will do one side while you are fixing it, the other side is properly running.
Okay.
But if you notice the both ways, there is cut on the both sides, both left and right, is fully damaged. If by any means you have like I think you if you're following social media, you see that someone car fell in one of the drainage the other day badly. And yes, and both sides. So if you just made a little mistake, if you're driving, you can see it, and the road is very dark.
You may be
There
scared.
is no electricity. Yes,
Okay.
you could probably just your car
Skid
could
off the
just
road, yeah.
yes go into any dish at any point in that time. And I think at this point we should have solar lights, even though we are not ready to electrify that side till the road is completed. If we can have solar lights in places like Lofa or Grand Crew, Grand Gita, we should be able to have solar lights installed from ERWA Junction all the way to the airport for now till the road construction is done for safety purposes. So these are things that are national. These are things that we talk about, we
Okay.
advocate
Now,
about.
but you said that. Let me bring you back to my question. Why did you choose to go independent when you are fully a member of the ruling coalition?
We want to have a mind of our own. We chose to have a mind of our own. So
Well, you could go on the party's ticket and still have a mind of your own.
no, our party, a lot of people in our party have this mind that once you are with the ruling party, you should adhere to party mandate. So you are not allowed to speak on national issues. Once you start to speak on national issue, meaning you are either they call you either opposition or you are probably speaking against the government. You cannot be part of the ruling party and you are speaking against the government. And we see things in a different way.
So,
We want
so
a different.
how do you consider yourself now? The fact that you are opting for the legislature and wanting to go independent when you should be going under your party umbrella.
I don't see anything wrong with that because I work with people from different backgrounds, different political parties. I have people from my team that's from ANC, people from my team that's from MPP, people from my team that's from LP, and they all part of my team. They are part of the movement. We call it Young Movement for Simple Change. So.
What is your fear you have, madam? This is, we're coming to the interview now. What is the fear you have? I told you yesterday that I'm not an interviewer who will allow you to have your own. But what is the fear you have going on the party ticket?
Not having a free primary. Yes.
You sure of
Tempering with the primary because someone has an interest to carry someone else. Maybe probably the person not qualified for that position, and they
You
just
think that
wanted-
could
yes,
happen?
Yes, it could happen. It has happened a lot of times, and
Okay.
people have been placed on the party ticket. And I don't want to be caught up in the middle at a crucial stage of my campaign. So I just wanted something that gave me a more flexible time to speak to my people, to engage my people, to run my campaign, to work with my movements, and get what I want to get done and make the change I want to.
But
get. And I
how
think-
sure are you that you're going to get what you want to get done when you are not, thinking about running on the party ticket, rather than thinking about going independent?
There are so many people that have run independently and made a lot of change. I will use Mr. Snow as one example. He always run as a independent body. Yes, all his elections he have been successful. So and he still comes back to support. So it doesn't mean I'm not.
You could receive a better support base from the party than going independent.
I still do receive support. I don't need to
You
be
sure
on
of
the,
that?
Yes, I don't need to be on the party ticket. I have a lot of partisans that support my agenda.
Okay.
I work with all the district's leaders from my party within my district, all the leaders. I have a very good relationships with them, and we understand each other. They understands the vision. They understands where I'm coming from. And I don't see anything wrong with me going as an independent body. I want people to vote for me for who I am. I don't want someone to say, oh, she's from CDC and I'm from ANC. Because of that, I cannot work with her. I cannot vote for her. No. I want people to see me as a young person, as a simple young person. Okay, this is me. I'm simple. I'm going as an independent candidate. It's not just because I'm from CDC. No, it's because this is a voice for the young people, and I want us to utilize it together as young people, despite what political party we are from.
So you believe that if you were to go as under the panel, you were to go as an aspirant under the party's umbrella or on the party's ticket, you believe that you will not win? Is that what the fear you have? The people will not vote for you?
No, definitely people will vote for me. Yes, because people vote for people investments, and after
A
that you
long
should be
list
able,
of
yes,
suggestions you give the president.
yes.
Okay, now before we open the lines, what's let's assume that you were elected tomorrow. What key first will be on your list for your district?
Currently, we don't have a public medical center. That would be one of the major things that I would like to work on first, to make sure that the district has a public medical center that people can get treated, that they can access immediately, just in case of anything that is easy, that they can be able to get the kind of medical treatment that they need. A very good medical facility with the kind of medical equipments that we need to serve our people.
Okay, that's the first thing you've been working
Yes,
on.
yes.
Do you have second thing in mind?
Yes, our educational system, all our schools in the district are not up to high school level.
Okay.
To make sure that they are pushed to high school level.
Okay, again, the name is Karishma, right? Pelham Raad. She's representative aspirant of district number 10, Montserrat County. The lines are blinking already. Let me take this first call on the line. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Saba.
Yes, good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
I'm okay. Go right ahead.
Okay, my name is Esther. You got it from St. George Airlines.
Mm-hmm.
I say good morning to your
The lines are blinking. Yes, go right ahead quickly.
Yeah, I say quietly and Mr. All this morning. I say a salute to her now. At least you can learn with this system because clearly she just told me that the system are men honor representative and for sure. The people of the system are now the properly represented the national legislature. So say salute to her now. To be a strong and iron leader to deliver with the system for us. Because the system really have been fully represented.
Okay.
You can't have a lot because in the first for the system, the only time you put a video on, you see fighting in the national legislature.